Hey folks, this is Minute Sylvester, and I haven't uploaded a video in a very long time. And the reason I'm uploading this is because I found something really fun to experiment on. And as you can see, it's me configuring my own Hyperland context. So I've been keeping in touch with the development in Hyperland. I've also tried installing Omarchi. Had fun with it for some time, but there were times when it started breaking, specifically when I update because I had it dual booted with my Windows, and more often than not, when I update it, it breaks. Sometimes it does not breaks, but I lose my custom configurations, which kind of had me reworking things, and I didn't want to do that. So the choices I was left with was go to a stable distribution or set up my own Hyperland. And I thought it would be fun, and so I've started off with this. So I'll show what I have over here. So here's how things went. First things first, I installed Arch. I'll admit I used the Arch install script to make things easier for me. And once that was done, I installed Hyperland. And the first time I started Hyperland, it did not really let me move forward with things because it wanted me to install certain packages that are mandatory for it to function. And all it did was allow me to open a terminal window so that I can look at that warnings and then install the necessary packages. So once that was done, it did allow me to go in, but there wasn't much. But yeah, that's the fun part, right? So the first thing I did was modify my Kitty terminal. So right now this is what it looks like, and this is usable. It could be better, but I can use this. This is working for me right now. I used Starship prompt to make it look like what it is looking right now, and I'd recommend that because it's easier to set up things. The next thing I did was change the wallpaper. So for wallpapers, I use something called the Hyperpaper, which Hyperland recommends is a default package. You have other options that you can try out, but I chose to go ahead with Hyperpaper because it is much more native. And after that, the system was pretty usable. I installed Chromium browser and added a key binding for it. So SuperB gives me my browser and SuperQ gives me my terminal. And I installed VS Code for me to develop. So I'm just gonna open the config just really show how VS Code looks like over here. You have to put in a few flags for Electron apps to work, but I had no trouble. It was pretty straightforward. And this right here is what you see is a configuration for my Waybar, which we'll look at later. But yeah, so most of the work is here. So I've configured many things to look and feel certain ways that is pleasant to me. So let's go ahead and look at the Waybar right now. So this top bar that you see, so I installed something called Waybar that Hyperland recommends. There are other options, but this worked best for me. So in the left, it shows you the active workspace that we're in, and there are key bindings to change that. And then you have the clock, and this is not the default thing. So this is fully me putting things where I want it, and you can choose to have this. Since I'm not a person who really looks at the calendar much, so I just hover and look at the dates, but I'm not really using this much to be honest. And then you have the idle inhibitor. So this is basically something that says do not lock my computer or on certain situations. So, and then you have the now playing media bar showing what's playing. So I have something playing in my browser right now. So other than that, you have the notification in center. So for this, I'm using something called Sway Notification Center, simply because it was very much customizable. So this is what it looks like right now after some customization, and I admit this can look better and it will get better as time progresses. I'll keep uploading videos of what improvements I make. And after that, you have the audio controls. So right now, you can click on it to control it. So left opens up a setting, and then right click mutes if the audio is playing it. So you can use the scroll to control the volume, as you can see over here. This is not something I keep to, I mean, look forward to keeping at least. I want something much more graphical, something that the user can see and click. But right now, this is working. And the next thing is the network connection. And I'm using Impala right now. So when you click on this, you get a TUI saying where you're connected. You can scan for networks and connected, but it's completely TUI. I do not have a GUI for this. And frankly, I am fine with it. And then you have the power mode. So this comes in default with Waybar. You don't really have to do anything. And then this part, on clicking it, it opens VTOP. So this is pretty much what I have right now for Waybar. And frankly, this is what I use to develop most of my stuff. So going forward, I'll be making improvements, uploading videos on what I'm doing. So I'm really excited for this and I'm looking forward to share this with you all.